So recording चालू झालेलं आहे. Welcome you all. So we were looking at the lesson number one, that is historical resources or resources of history. Okay, so we were looking at the source of history. So we were looking at the sources from where we can know about the history. Okay, so in this chapter we have seen the material sources, building and palace, and statues and memorials. So what kind of that, and what is the basic meaning and what the purpose to build up that. So we get the idea about that. Okay, in our previous lecture, and then we were look at the written sources, and we get the idea about that. For it is newspaper, then periodicals, then maps and drawing. Okay, so we were up to this. We were at oral sources. So basically, whenever we just hear about the oral, so we know about the oral test. So basically, what is that? Oral means what? Vocally. So someone is here that said about it. Okay, that is not written somewhere. So someone has speak about it, so that, or said about it, so that we can call it the oral sources. Okay, the following sources are included in the oral sources of modern Indian society. So what does that mean? So oral sources are this. Okay, so oral sources are folk song. Then we have pavadas. Then we have folk tales. Then narrations. Then interviews. Then fair, jalsa, art groups. Then we have rhythmic prose. Then inspirational songs. So these are the basically types of oral source. Oral source means what? So someone is said about that. Okay, so basically what folk song we heard about the song, that becomes the oral source. So kind of oral source are there, and they have given some examples. So we will see what are they. So inspirational songs. Okay, inspirational song. Okay, inspirational song. So during the period of freedom movement, the various inspirational songs were composed. Okay, we all know there are so many songs that they were they composed by the our freedom fighters. Okay, to inspire the people. At the present, some of these songs are available in a written form, but there are many others unpublished inspirational songs memorized by the freedom fighter. So, what they want to say? They want to say that some of them are still available in the market, or some of them still available in the written form, but some of them are unpublished. Okay, so some of them are unpublished. So this is what they are saying. Again, so through this inspirational song, we can get information about the condition during the pre-independence period, and also the spirit behind the freedom struggle could be understood. So, what's the inspirational song? That indicate us. They remind us, or they give the idea about the what the situation was there in the past. We can say the pre-independent era or pre-independence period, the condition during the the condition during the pre-independence period, and then we can see about the struggle of our freedom fighters during that scenarios or during that period. So the inspirational song gives us the idea about that. Okay, so this is how the inspirational song is, we can say, the important. So povada, so what are the povadas? The povada is the source of getting information about historical event or the work of person. There are the various povadas composed of on freedom fighters struggle at 1857, the valure of revolutionaries during British rule, etc. These povadas were used to create the motivation and the spirit, okay, and the spirit among the people. Apart from the freedom movement, the povadas were composed based on the work of Satyasodhak Samaj for awakening among the opposed classes, the Samyukta Maharashtra movement, and such other movements. So what they said, the povada is the type of song. So we all know about that. What is povada, right? So povada, what the povada shows? The povada is on the basis of the movement. Okay, the povada is the source of getting information from the historical event of the work of the person. So if suppose what is the povada, if we are hearing, so we will hear some story in that. So povada is the basically, we can say the okay, musical form of story. Okay, so this is what they are saying. The povada is the source of information of historical event and the work of the person. This powada is composed on freedom struggle of 1857. So they are saying the 1857 the povadas were composed. So volume of revolutionary during the British rules, etc. These povadas were used to create the motivation. So why this povada used? This povada used to motivate or to motivate the people. Okay, and then and then among the freedom movement, the povadas were composed on the base of the work of Satyasodak Samaj. Okay, this were saying or for awakening among the opposed classes, so oppressed classes. So what they are saying, the povada were composed on the basis of work of Satyasodak Samaj. The work that is done by the Satyasodak Samaj, the povada were used to compose on that work. Okay, and then that was used for awakening. That was the best thing, the awakening among the oppressed classes. So whatever the classes are oppressed means what? So they are basically gathered, or they are basically they were inspiring the others to get united. Okay, so this is what the povada were used for. And the Maharashtra, then Samyukta Maharashtra movement. So we all know about the Samyukta Maharashtra movement. This for the use. This was we can say the post-independent movement, and this was used for the Maharashtra. You will get to know about this Samyukta Maharashtra movement and such other movements. So like such movements, they were used the Povada, okay, for inspiring others. So we will see the next thing, that is video, audio, and audio visual sources. Okay, this was we are at here. So during the modern period, due to the development of technology, there was development in the art of photo. Okay, there was the development in the art of photography, recording, films, and obviously etc. And obviously, this photograph, recorded or film are used to source of history. So obviously, see whatever the things is happening. Okay, with this technology. Okay, with this technology, which technology, video, audio, and audio visual technology, we can record that. Okay, so whatever the moment is happening, we can record that, and so that's why it is the source of history. Okay, so whatever the photographs and records we have in our past, or of the we can say the moments I'm talking about, any moment. So at that moment, that becomes history, and that is the best source of history. And then we have the photographs. So what the photographs we use for? The photographs are visual source of modern Indian history. Okay, so visual, so we can see. Okay, so what was the oral source? Oral source was Inspirational Song and the Povada. So now we are coming up to at sorry, we are coming at the video, audio, and audio visual sources. That are the visual sources. Okay, we can see that. So that's why it's a visual sources. So photographs are visual source of modern Indian history with the discovery of art of photography. Photographs of various persons, events, objects, structures, places were clicked. Okay, through this photograph. So basically, what happened? So due to this photography technology, the photographers can click the any movement, any structure, or the click the photos of anything like the various personalities, the events, objects, structures, and the places where the click. So they use the photography technology to click the photos, and through this photograph, we get the information of the person or an event in the visual format. Okay, in case of medieval medieval period, there are the painting available. Okay, so at this point, they are giving you the different scenarios. So why the photograph is important? Because see, in the medieval period, there are the painting available that depict the physical feature. Okay, that depict the physical feature of the person or visual description of particular event. So see what happened at the medieval period. So the painter used the painter used the painting things for creating some photographs. Okay, so what does that happen? They can use as they want. So because what happens, so painting is the one. So example मी तुम्हाला देतो. The painter कसा असतो? हाऊ इज द पेंटर, पेंटरला आपल्याला जसं हवंय तसं आपण त्याला म्हणजे पेंटिंगमध्ये चेंजेस आणू शकतो, राइट? बट वी कांट डू दिस द सेम इन photography technology. So this is what they are saying. So, but the authenticity of this painting is doubtful. See, whatever I said, they are saying the same thing. The comparative the photographs are considered the more reliable. So basically, that's the same thing. Because see what happened, we can change the paintings however we want. So आपल्याला जसा पाहिजे तसा आपण we can change it. But in the photography we can't. So that's why it's considered the more reliable. The photograph of the person gives the information about the physical feature. So how was the physics of that dressing style, etc. So that gives the idea about this, and then the photographs of an event gives us visual image of the event, whereas the photographer of an object or structure helps in understanding the nature, right? So by the knowing his personality, by his dressing style, by his physical feature, we can get the idea about what the nature of that, how was the nature of that personality. So this is what they are saying. That's why the photographs are important. Then we have the recording. Next thing, okay, recording. The discovery of the discovery of technology of recording was also the important as photography, right? So recording is the form of audio sources of history during the modern period. The speeches of leader or the important personalities, songs, etc. are available in the form of recording, right? uh, in the form of recording, and they can be used as a source of history. For example, the national anthem Jana Gana Mana, sung by sung by Ravindranath Tagore. Okay, so this is what they are saying, sung by the Ravindranath Tagore himself, or the speeches of Subhash Chandra Bose can be used as an audio sources of the study of history of modern India. So the recording was very important because see, if suppose there is the example, then take the name of Subhash Chandra Bose. That's why I'm giving you the example of Subhash Chandra Bose only. See what happened. So Subhash Chandra Bose, if we say, if we consider the Subhash Chandra Bose living in India, but still his speech can be heard in the other countries, so like the Singapore. So this is what they are saying. Even they went there at once only, but still they from the recording we can have or they the people of Singapore can hear the Subhash Chandra Bose. So this is what the recording is important, and that's why is the best source of the history. Okay, so this is what this is they said the audible source of history. Okay, then we have the films. The films next we have the films, and the last topic of our this is film. The films. The films are considered as the unique discovery of modern technology. Okay, so this is unique discovery of modern technology in the 20th century. In the 20th century, there was the great development in the technique of filmmaking. Dadasaheb Phalke, Dadasaheb Phalke, in the year 1913, laid the foundation of Indian film industry and audio visual recording of Dandi Yatra and Salt Satyagraha, the Quit India movements, and such other historical incidents are available. So what they are saying, well, till this time, till this line, we will see what they are saying. The film are considered as the unique discovery of modern technology. Film are considered as the unique technology, unique discovery of modern technology, right? And it comes in 20th century, and there was a great development in this. Okay, so in the filmmaking in 20th century, we can say, so Dadasaheb Phalke in year 1913 laid the foundation of Indian film industry. So who laid the foundation of Indian film industry? It was the Dadasaheb Phalke. Okay, so Dadasaheb Phalke. Then audio visual recording of Dindi Yatra. So what we have in the films, we have the Dindi Yatra, the Salt Satyagraha, Quit India movement, and such other historical incidents we have in the film formation. We have such movements in the film or the video format. We can say in film formation. Through this, the films are the event could be seen in reality. Okay, so that's exactly showing the reality of that place. Okay, so compare the ancient and medieval period. The source of study of modern Indian history are found abundance, okay, abundance and variety. So we have the n number of sources of modern history, okay, and the n number of varieties of modern history than the comparatively ancient and medieval. So this is what they are saying. Due to the technology, the basic reason of due to the technology, we have the more sources of modern history, modern Indian history than the ancient and medieval history. And the archaeological sources of these periods are the great extent found in the better state, right? So we all know the archaeological things, archaeological source, so whatever the buildings and the things and we can say the coins and all things, they are in the better state now we can get if we in we can say the museums and things. So there are the many written sources preserved in the archives, but while referring the written sources, okay, so there is also flaws we can say. If we go for the written sources, okay, if we go for the written sources, whatever the written sources we have, so we have to consider the point of view of that person who is returning that. Okay, so ideology, the opinion of the author regarding the particular events needs to be examined. So see what is it? We can say like if suppose I have a note about our history, so you can directly take it as it is. You have to understand the point of view in which event or in which ideology, in which we can say in which opinion the author writed that. We have to understand that, we have to examine that. And this is the great need of preserving. So sorry, there is the great need of preserving these historical sources through which the rich tradition of history can be handed over to the next generation. So what they're saying, we have to preserve this because this is our rich tradition of our history, and we have to hand over it to our next generation in very good manners, or we can say the good state, better state. So that's why we have to preserve it. Okay, so this is what the lesson about. So do you have any doubt or anything else? So you can ask me directly. So we will see the exercise now. Okay, rewrite the statement by choosing the appropriate options. Okay, among the historical source, the source historical sources that the sources are based on modern technology. Which are the sources that based on modern technology?
ADO, D1D.
Okay, audio visual. That is audio visual. Okay, so audio visual is the technology that based on the modern modern technology. Okay, and this is the answer. Then we have the dash is the museum in Pune, which gives the information about the history of Mahatma Gandhi. So we already have the answer in the first page. If we go look at the page, okay. So here we have this Aga Khan Palace. Okay, so Aga Khan Palace have the more information, document giving information about the life of Mahatma Gandhi. Okay, so this is okay, Aga Khan Palace, or we have okay Aga Khan Palace, right? Okay, this is the answer. And then we have the unique discovery of modern technology in 20th century was. So see, what was the unique technology? See, we have to consider the unique discovery of the modern technology is the films. Okay, the films was the unique discovery of the modern technology. So we have the answer is films. So explain the statement with the reasons. During the British period, newspaper was also acted the source of social reformation. So how you could answer this, Shiva Mishra? You, if you can answer this, you can give the answers. Hello. Okay. So, Shiva Mishra, tell me.
Yes,
Just tell me how you could answer this question during the British. period newspapers also acted as source of social reformation. Okay, so see what I'm telling you. You have to write about the newspaper, how the newspaper acted, and who was the author, or we can say the who was the freedom fighter who writed who published newspaper for gathering the social for the social reformation, we can say. Okay, so this is the first point. So I'm just telling you the refer answer. You just go for the proper answer with your own words. Okay, yes. Okay, good. So audiovisual recordings are they considered as the most trustworthy sources to study the modern Indian history. So see, we already seen in this in the photography, we can say the photography paragraph that if we go for the painting, so painting can be modified as we want, right? The painting can be modified as we want, but the photographs can't. So that's why the audio visual recordings are considered, or the even if we go for the vocal things, okay, so whatever the things are oral, okay, so oral song can be modified, the photograph, sorry, paintings can be modified, but if we go for the photographs and recording, they are as it is, we can't modify anything into that. Okay, so this is technically this is why they are most trustworthy. Okay, and then we just go for the photographs, short notes, then museums, then audio sources, then go for and write the short notes of this, and we have to complete the following diagram. Complete the following diagram. We have here the material sources. So what are the material sources? If we go at the page number 1, okay, so material sources are this. See, the what are the material sources? I clean up this page again and I'll tell you the answer. So see, what are our material sources? We have the monuments. Okay, so we have the monuments, the places, coins, sculptures, uh, coins, sculptures, etc. And the various objects are our the material objects, right? So if you think this could, if you have any other things or other option that can be counting this material sources, you can write and just tell me about this. Okay, so this is our lesson number first, the source of history, and next we will go and see about this Europe and India. Okay, so have you understood this, or do you have any doubt or something? Rishikesh, Rishabh.